Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back. Third time's the charm. Welcome to season 2, episode 1 of Now's the Time. Chilling with Brandon, brother Brandon. I thought I'd bring back the podcast for a couple of reasons. Yesterday I was looking at my YouTube and many other days, but there's this option where you can just click popular. And my podcast was one of the most popular things I've ever done. Which is mind-blowing to me because it's just me talking about music and not making music. It's not my songs, it's not my albums, it's just me talking with a microphone. And apparently thousands of people love that. I mean, maybe like 10,000 or more, which is pretty wild. That's a big concert, that's flattering that many people would just want to listen to me talk about music or, hear their heroes talk about music or interview some people just talking about music. I think that's awesome. So thank you so much for being here. It's a beautiful day today. Got the windows open, so sorry if you hear any sirens or car horns or birds or whatever. But it's nice. Not a cloud in the sky. Thought I'd open up the windows. Enjoy the sunshine. Come on, we gotta get you nerds out of the house a little bit. Bring the outside in, Sometimes that's cool. But yeah, I made some notes so I can stop rambling. I wanted to say, be sure to like and subscribe. We're trying to get the channel to 1,000. I wanted to think about reasons of why I'm doing this, and other than to talk about music and to revamp the podcast and catch up with some of my friends and maybe have some guests or maybe get a co-host or something like that. But beyond all those things, I wanted to try to make some money off this because I feel like that was kind of a missed opportunity here. Was I just uploaded them to YouTube and to Facebook and everywhere else but anywhere that I could make money off this thing. So I'm thinking now it's going to be on Spotify and all these other things, and I'll upload season 1, and we're going to start season 2 here on YouTube and then upload it after we're done. And maybe we'll do 10 episodes. Let's say that. 10 seems pretty manageable. So yeah, I think that's going to be the new format. We're going to try to monetize the channel. We're going to try to monetize the podcast. We're going to try to monetize the music a little bit more. And what a better way to do it than talking about the music. So here we are, talking about the music. I've got a bunch of new albums out. Okay, we're talking just this month. Your boy has released a live album from Portland, Oregon. A Vibes duo record, like a vibraphone, a big old piano-style xylophone, with that guitar right there, and this little beat machine, and a vibraphone. It's a very cool record, recorded live at Hunter Bay, shout out. That's our shameless plug where we plug our sponsor for today, Hunter Bay. Thank you for the coffee and allowing us to play music there all the time. Such a beautiful space. If you've never been there, check it out. You can get their coffee at King Soopers or Kroger or wherever you are. At the grocery store. It's amazing. Hand-roasted coffee. Shout out. This is like the best one. I got like a solo limited edition. Woo, it's good. Shout out. Super good coffee. So we got the Vibes duo record that was recorded at Hunter Bay. Lance Croucher and Eric Johnson are over here. Eric was playing bass and Lance was playing drums at the studio, Haku Records, if you don't know. That's probably a new development maybe I should talk about. We'll move on to that. We got a little studio here. We recorded a trio record with Lance and Eric. That came out really cool. I just came out with a 4-track album with only 4 tracks. Using this little sampler right here, this KO2. EP133 KO2 is the full name. I'm not sure why they're trying to make R2D2 over here, but it's awesome. It's one of my favorite things ever that I've gotten, at least this year, and maybe of all time. So I've been really spending a lot of time with it, just trying to learn it. And I think I finally cracked the code on it enough to where I could make a 21-track album only using this thing. So I think that's pretty cool. Shout out to that album. And another kind of like complexity of the universe is just like, why is it that this 4-track album is doing better than basically anything I've done in a long time? And it's like 40 minutes, 30 minutes or something. And it's only 4 tracks, but man, that thing is taken off. It's like got almost 1,000 views in like a week, which is pretty good for me. So check that out. People seem to really like that album. It's always interesting as like the composer, the creator of the music, to kind of look at the stats and the numbers, because I might like a song or an album a lot, and it might not do very well. It might not even be a quality thing. It might just be like an algorithm thing where it just doesn't get seen or heard or whatever. But this particular 4-track album is doing pretty well. So yeah, it's always cool to kind of see like what medium is doing well, and maybe why that's working, and maybe you can try to engineer, some logic into that and recreate that, or take some of the good elements from that and continue moving that on into your other projects. So I'm still studying the how and the why, and so I've been experimenting with, you could say, numbers, because I have a duo album, I have a trio album, I have a 4-track album, and then I have an 8-track album, and I would say that album is made only using 8 tracks. So you could hear the difference between, my creative capabilities just doing 4 tracks to 8 tracks. And then I released this thing called the Deacon tape, which is 36 songs. 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 36 songs. So check that out. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 albums I've released this month, which is pretty awesome. It's probably over 100 songs. We got Mr. Monkey coming over here. Come here, buddy. We're doing a little podcast, dude. Dude, the podcast is like older than you, bro. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy, dude. This is Monkey Dog over here. He's a good boy. He's the best boy ever. We got him on a gig in North Carolina. He's a North Kakalaki baby. And speaking of that, that's a good little segue, Bob. We'll talk about our upcoming records. So those are the records I just released, those 6. And coming up, I have 3 that I've kind of planned, 4 that I'm working on. The upcoming album is an organ trio record that I recorded in North Carolina. So that'll be really cool. Stay tuned for that. Check that out. I have 4 songs coming out with some of the Snarky Puppy homies. Michael League, Bob Lanzetti, Nathaniel Townsley. Those are really the Snarky cats. And then a lot of my good buddies are on there too. We got Zach Rich on there. We got the beautiful Faith playing the cello. And I'm playing piano and drums and guitars and lap steels and pedal steels and all kinds of stuff on that record. It's coming out really cool. I'm really stoked for it. I can say honestly, though, I don't think I've ever worked on a project as diligently, as patiently, or as like compositionally demanding either, because they're very complicated songs, and I want to take my time on them. I want them to sound good, and I don't want to rush it, because it's not every day you get like 17 Grammys on one album. That's pretty awesome. So trying to take my time with that. I'm trying to be patient with that. I don't want to rush it, because a lot of times I can just be like, yeah, it's good enough. But is it good enough? Is it really good enough? I think if you took maybe a week away or 2 weeks away or something, just step back a little bit, wait for some money to come in and go pay the players, wait for the tracks to come in. You got to download that stuff, you got to mix it, you got to master it, you got to record some stuff. It's like I don't need to do it all in one day. So it's only 4 songs, but it's taken probably 3 or 4 months, but they're really coming together really nice. I'm really stoked about that. And then I have a project called Sapphire's Garden, Sapphires, Garden, Garden. That is a couple of years old now, which is pretty awesome. I would say that's my collaborative vocal project. I think that's what we're going to call it. Is where I like to have different artists on the songs, and then I like to sing over them, and that's kind of what makes Sapphire's Garden. And also, I would say another caveat of that is like they have to be songs that I can perform live, because I think that's pretty important. That's hard to do. Honestly, you could write songs all day on your computer, but can you perform them? Think about that. So yeah, all of those songs are coming together. I think I have 6 or 7 songs. I'm not really sure how many I'm gonna drop, but it's an album of all singles. So I've been making each individual song with different artists and then posting that one song. Making songs with different artists, posting another song. So it's just kind of building up. And you could hear maybe the journey, the sonic development, the different studios even, the different players. It's kind of like a Steely Dan record, maybe, if that makes any sense, where, there's different bands per song. And I've been super digging Asia lately. We've been playing that at the gig. Need to record that one. That one would be a cool song to record. We're talking about recording and stuff. But yeah. Okay, that pretty much wraps everything up. Oh, I forgot one thing. I started another project called Brother Brandon, as I introduced myself earlier, because that's kind of what I've been calling my own self in real life for a couple of years, because I feel like I am a brother. I have a half-brother and a stepbrother, so I am a brother. And my name is Brandon, so it makes sense to call myself Brother Brandon. And I think that's like a loving thing, there's like Uncle Tommy and, all that kind of stuff going around too. I thought that would be a nice little homage. But yeah, I've got the Brother Brandon project, and I would say that is my solo project, where I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. And that's what I like about it. And yeah, it's just me. And I'd say it's also just like a band thing. It's like, me playing guitars and drums and piano. I'm playing every instrument. It's like my, kind of like my Prince stuff, maybe. And not that it sounds like Prince. Stevie Wonder comes to mind as well. Just, what am I trying to say? Just people that played all the instruments on the record. That's kind of the vein of that album, or project. But yeah, that's coming together. I think there's only 4 songs on that one right now, but yeah, it's coming together. It's coming together. Really cool. Really cool. All right. So that kind of concludes all of the stuff that I've been up to and that I'm going to be up to for the next month or so, just in terms of recording. So you can see that there's a lot of stuff kind of going on, and I feel like that's another reason I wanted to bring back the podcast, is I just feel like I have so much stuff going on now. Not in a bad way, but I have a lot of projects coming out, and I feel like they're kind of getting brushed under the rug, and I feel like the people who actually watch this might be into it. If you're into the podcast, if you're into the music, if you follow me in any kind of way, you might be interested in the records that I'm making. And there are a lot of them, and there's a lot of bands, and there's a lot of other artists that are involved in. So it might be hard to keep track of. So I thought that if we start the podcast with the music that we're working on for the week or the day or whenever we do it, I'm going to try to do it every day, but it might drift a couple of days. I might be on the road or have a show or be sick or whatever. So I'm trying to keep it loose, but I'm going to try to do it every day. And yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. It would be nice to keep you all informed about the music. So I've released 6 albums, and I have 4 coming up. Check that out. It really mean a lot to me. If you want to support this, hit the like button, subscribe. I think that would be awesome. If you also want to support and help keep the lights on, I think the best way to do that is to buy one of my albums. Go to Bandcamp, catboysound.bandcamp.com, sapphiresgarden.bandcamp.com, brotherbrandon.bandcamp.com. It's really the best way to support music right now is to buy somebody's record. And yeah, that's a really awesome thing to do. And man, it just shows that you care. And unfortunately, things like Spotify only pay like 0.0032 cents per play. So, whenever you get 10,000 listens, you're lucky to get $1. So think about that. You could buy my album for $5, and there's, I don't know, almost 900 people subscribe to my channel. So you do the math. If all 900 people got a record for $5, that would make a big difference for me. And yeah, think about that. Support your homies. Shout out. I don't think people get enough light, and I don't think people buy enough records anymore. As someone who has probably a couple hundred vinyls and maybe 1,000 cassette tapes, buy your friend's album. It means a lot. They put a lot of time and energy into that shit, and yeah, they really deserve for that stuff to be heard and to be played and materialized, spiritualized. That's some good stuff. Okay, enough ranting about that. I'm gonna hit this green bowl really quick. Been talking for 15 minutes. I got the timer on over there. We're gonna go for 30 minutes. I think that's gonna be a good starting point for these solo episodes. If I can do 30 minutes of just talking about music by myself, I think that'll be a good rhythm for me to get into. And then maybe I'll do a couple, and then I'll reach out to some guests. And I already have a couple people in mind, a couple of virtual people, a couple of people in real life. That'll be fun. But yeah, thank you. Hold on, I'm gonna green up. Get this coffee too, dude. Okay, cool. Man, thank you guys so much for being here. It really means a lot if you're watching this. Hit the like button, subscribe. So now's the time podcast episode 1. We're kind of just catching you guys up to date. 15 minutes in, 13 minutes and 33 seconds. And I thought I'd talk about some musical ideas for the rest. I'm gonna try to figure out a way how you guys can either call me to leave a voicemail to ask questions, or maybe I'll put a Google thing on there. It's where you could ask questions, because it'd be cool. This is where I can answer some questions. But I came up with my own questions, my own topics today, because we're doing a solo episode. And it's our first one, and we're kind of just doing it off the cuff. So here's some things that I've been thinking about musically, okay? The first one is playing in 3 keys at once. What do I mean by this? I think it could be interpreted in a lot of different ways. Okay, so how I'm thinking about playing in 3 keys at once is maybe in a color palette kind of way. Let's say this is blue, this is green, and this is red. Okay, I'm going to forget that, but let's say that in this particular example, I'm always using F sharp, A flat, and E, and I guess you could say them E, F sharp, A flat, in whatever order. You could go up or down or side to side and blah blah blah. So if you kind of I've been calling it red light, green light. Okay, that's maybe a weird kid term, but it's you kind of got to turn on the notes that are good and then turn off the notes that are bad at the right time. And then sometimes turning on the bad notes at the right time can be very interesting. And you could use it as I guess I already kind of said a color palette kind of way, but that's kind of how I imagine it is. It just colors the sound of this one chord very beautifully, and it allows for all these other colors to come in, like watercolors. Maybe, not in this particular example I gave you, primary colors or really strong colors, And in between these big colors are these really pretty kind of hues or watercolors or something. And I can show you what I mean. I'll play a little bit here. This is me playing in 3 different keys at once with F sharp in the bass. So I'm going to play F sharp, A flat, and E. Those are the 3 keys I'm going to be using. And I think the concepts that I could draw within, just to talk about before I play maybe, is that you could weave within them, you know what I mean? You could play F sharp, you could play E. You could play F sharp, you could play A flat. You could play F sharp, you could play E. And you can kind of go in and out, right? That's pretty cool, weaving. Bob and weave, baby, come on. It's cool, check it out. And then the other one I'm thinking of is contrary motion, or counterpoint or something, where you're still moving within the keys, but you're kind of going like this, out, low and high at the same time, or you're going, in or out, or up or down, or down and up, or kind of moving in a sequence, maybe in some sort of motion that revolves around counterpoint. And if you don't know what counterpoint is, look that shit up, please. I went to school to study 23 rules of counterpoint that I never think about anymore, but I think it's one of those things that you should learn so you could forget it, so you're aware of how good part writing is supposed to be, and then you can come up with your own ways and that's pretty awesome. But here's me playing in 3 keys at once. So let's just see if that's sure. Yeah, something like that. And I don't think it's that I'm really playing in 3 keys at once, but it's like how you're thinking about it, if that makes any sense. It's the approach of trying to play in 3 different keys at once. It's very unusual because I think normally for me, and I don't know about you, but I think this is an interesting thing that happens maybe to me only. I don't know if this happens to anyone else. So I think about the chord a lot of the time. It's just kind of an extension. Like, you know, if I'm playing this, I'm just thinking this is E major 13, 9, sharp 11. You know what I mean? I don't see this as an E chord with an F sharp triad on it. That's like a different way of thinking for me. And I don't see this as E with a A flat triad. You know, I would maybe see this as a major 7 augmented chord. That's pretty cool, actually. See, I never thought about it like that. And that's just a different way of thinking for me. And I think that's a very like horn player way to think. I think that's a very piano player way to think. And you know, most of my musical existence kind of just lives around that point of view, where I just see like one chord and then I'm just like, oh, okay, it's just that, but it's like sharp 11 or augmented, or it's Barry Harris, or it's harmonic major, or, you know, I just kind of hear like the sound and then I call it a scale, but I don't ever think about maybe the triads within that sound that could be layered or labeled as a polychord. And if you don't know what a polychord is, that's kind of a fancier music theory 4 term. Is that's like when 2 chords are stacked on top of each other, like in this case where I talked about E with F sharp. You could put B triad or E triad, like E, I said the note that I played, E, G sharp, B, and then you could put F sharp on top. And that could be kind of a cool thing to just like show you, like if I just play into my loop here. If you put the F sharp chord on top, sounds awesome, dude. Yeah, I like that kind of sound. It's pretty cool. So think about that maybe today while you're walking around or just playing your instrument, or not. It's a fun thing to think about in your head too. Yeah. So, anyways, playing at three keys at once, and how can I kind of utilize that in a musical way, and how can I utilize it in a way that's like palatable for not just me? Because that's been the hardest way, I think, is I can think about this stuff like pretty in depth, but like, can I actually like perform it, and can I actually use it? Is a whole other topic. So that's like an idea I'm still working on, probably as you could tell, but I think it's pretty cool, and I think that the fact that that's just one possibility is crazy. Like, that's just the whole step pattern there. So what if you did like fourths? What if you did like minor thirds away? What if you did like tritone keys? What if you did like like a half step and then like something, you know what I mean? Like, you could change what kind of chord and what kind of key, maybe in chord type, and those are all the same chord type too. That's crazy to think about. Maybe what if you did like major and then diminished and then Barry Harris, and then that's heavy, dude. That's really crazy to think about. Man, dang, dude. Dang, dude, I feel like I should wrap it up on that note. We only got 3 minutes, but that's heavy to think about, is that there's so many possibilities with just this one idea, man. It's like, you could dig forever on this, dude. Like, yeah, I could play on just this one idea, like with just three whole steps apart, and using the key centers and their chords within each other forever, dude. And then imagine if you went to the fourths. Then imagine if you went to the fifths. Imagine if you went to the sixth, well, flat six. Oh, man. Man, that's so cool. That's so cool. Yeah, I could play on that forever. I was saying that in the car yesterday. Just another sound that I could just think about forever. It's like whole tone. Whole tone. Whole tone. It's a weird word. But yeah, the whole tone scale. It's like, this is a very weird sound. And I don't know what to do with it. I feel like it sounds dumb when I play it. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds cool when other people play it. But when I play it, it sounds dumb. So yeah, I want to spend some more time on whole tone as well. So maybe I can get into the different kinds of chords. Because I feel like there's a lot of different sounds inside of whole tone that I'm just not utilizing. And there's more sounds than just like major chord, augmented chord. You know what I mean? That's just food for thought. That's a whole other episode, honestly. But yeah, I've been thinking about that too. Just whole tone. Whole tone is very interesting. And I guess my idea is kind of based off the whole tone scale, but it's not. It's three different major scales at once, and then you're simultaneously blending them together and using chords from each one of the keys. Do that in all 12 keys. I dare you. But yeah, thank you so much. We got like 1 more minute left, so I'm just gonna wrap it up. And you guys are great. Thank you so much. Hit the like button, subscribe. We're going to do this every day. We got the windows open. We're going to make some beats today, dude. Make some songs, dude. We're going to play some piano, dude. It's going to be awesome. Maybe some drums. We're going to try to do a little stretching. We're going to take Monkey Dog out. But yeah, thank you guys so much. It really means a lot that you guys are here. Now's the time. Remember that. Stop making excuses. It took me like 4 years to turn on this freaking camera to make this second episode, or this second season. So, dude, just do it now. And who cares if you mess up the words? Who cares if you mess up the playing? There's no extra charge for mistakes, dude. That's what Guthrie Trapp says. And Danny Gatton. I think he got that from that Danny Gatton video. If you've never seen Danny Gatton, shout out to Danny Gatton, man. He's the inventor of hillbilly jazz. And R.E.P. Joey D, man. Oh, the GOAT. All right, we love you guys. We love you. Like and subscribe. Brother Brandon, Season 2, Episode 1. Now's the time. In the can. Y'all have a great day. Peace out.